Today video is I'm working on my skid steer. This coupler, not the actual coupler, but the actuator right there, that rod that will extend and retract to be able to lift your handles up, you know, to pull your pins to where you get your attachment off. Well, anyway, that rod right there, during one of my brush cutting jobs, got bent with basically I'm going to call it a branch about the size of my arm. And it was pushing up on it and bent that thing. You may not be able to see it too well from this angle and whatnot, but it is bent. I mean, you can kind of see it going like around like that. Anyway, it still tries to work, but it just doesn't move. It's just like if you ever operated one of these actuators, you know, when you're in the cab and you're pushing the button, it'll move, and then when it stops moving, it'll go like it'll make a like a bunch of clicking noise, and that just basically means you're at the end. Anyway, so that's all mine does is click no matter which way I move that button. So what I got to do is I tried to put a chain around it and lift up on my boom, thinking, you know, maybe I'll get lucky and that will unbend it, so to speak, enough to where it'll start working again. But that didn't work, so I'm gonna have to take it off, and for right now I'll probably just leave it off so I can still use my machine and get my attachments on and off. Alright, so let me work on it for a minute. And basically there's these little pins that go through there, and one side has a hole in it, and you put a cotter key in there. So I'm basically going to try and get that cotter key out and pop the pin out. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to cut it off with my Sawzall. Anyway, let me get back to you here in a few minutes. Alright, so next day here. Alright, so I took the step off, which is in the back of my truck. And then I cut this pin right there, so this thing's loose. So I cut that side. I was going to cut this side, I just couldn't get my saw in there very well. Matter of fact, the little thing was resting on that right there. You can see where it's shiny. Anyway, so I decided to come in here and take apart this little part right here where the actuator hooks up to the motor. And so I'm thinking that I can pull that apart now, right there, and get this thing out of there. Okay, so let me try that. Okay, so I had to take out another screw. It was a little screw, torque bit 25. Okay, so now let's see if this thing will come out. I'm pretty sure it will, from what I remember. Oh yeah. There, well, there we go. Oh, I still got the wires. Alright, hold on. Okay, so I'm back now. Alright, I got it off. I'm gonna get this thing out of my way so I can show you what I did. Okay. You can kind of see this little, right there, there's like a little loop of metal. And this is the other half of that wire. It was like a wire connector right there. Anyway, it was tie strapped to this loop right here, and there was a plate right over that. So let me show you the plate right here. I took off. Okay, so now what I can do is now I can operate this coupler manually, and so now let me go ahead and do that. Okay, let me show you this. This is what I thought would work. I just put it on here and it does work. This is my little cheater bar. I'll show you better here in a second, but I just got you angled so you can see this. Okay, it's going to slide over my little handle down there like that, and I can pull up on it. Wate. Now that side's undone. Now on this other side, of course, the sorry about that. The other side, the other half of the motor case is on there, and it's kind of blocking that handle, but I think maybe I can still get on it. But I won't be able to. Let me see if I can set you right here and you can watch. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can figure out the, what do you want to call it? I call it a combination. Let's see, I can't pull on it. I'm gonna get a screwdriver maybe? That ain't gonna work, I don't think. Maybe this will work. Just want to get underneath it basically and pop it up. If I can get right. Not you. There it goes. Excellent. Well, what I do now is take my attachment off, and then I can get to that cotter cube on that back side of that thing and take that pin off. Alright, cool, I got it. Alright. Whoa, my leg's stuck. Yeah. There it goes. I got it. Got my leg back. Got the attachment off all the way. Brush cutter, got the brush cutter off. Alright, so now you can see what I'm talking about. I can get to that cotter key right there and take this pin out, which will get rid of that other half of the casing for the motor. Let's do that real quick like. Probably blocking y'all, my bad. You know what? I need my pair of pliers. Do what we want you to do, and that's unbend. Oops, I think it just broke off that one side, that one ear. I'm gonna break this one off too, I think. There we go, to save the day. Alright, pin. Will come out now. There we go. Got it. Alright guys, so what I did was I took the wire connector that was over here. I put electrical tape all the way around it to seal off the end. And there was the other half of the wire was just kind of flagging around, so I moved it over, and there's just two holes underneath here. I don't know how well you can see them, but I put a tie strap through there and tied that one that was loose over here, pushed it back up in this little cubby hole basically, and secured it to that. And then the one that was hanging over here, I just folded it over, set it on top of it, and tie strapped the two together while going through that same hole on one of them. But anyway, just got them secured and out of the way and protected from the weather. So anyway, what my idea is now to just use this coupler like a manual coupler, and until I get enough jobs done to buy a new actuator rod, which is like 800 bucks, so it shouldn't take too long. But I might just leave it like it is and use it, because with what experience I have with my electric coupler so far, has been a pain. Because if it don't work, you're done working basically, because you can't move it. You can't take off your attachment or nothing, so you're just kind of dead in the water once it's quits working. So anyway, I'm going to take that off. I mean, leave it off just like it is and operate these things manually, and that way I can use it. Alrighty, let me put this guard back on there and my step, and then we'll wrap this video up. Be back in a minute. Got my step back on there and that guard. So my guard's back on and the step. So that's done now, guys. I can use it manually now, which is really good. Okay, let me just show you this actuator rod. See how it's resting on this track? You can really see how it's bent right there. Really bent. So you know, it just wouldn't go in and out, extend or retract, basically. And so here's how it works. So you can take, you take the 4 bolts that are on this side, and they hold this other half on, and there's that one screw that goes in right there, the opposite direction, and hold it all together. So basically it's just a bunch of grease in here. So you can see, you can imagine when you take this apart, if you had to, you don't have to worry about oil or nothing. Of course, if it was a hydraulic, you probably would, but this is electric. So anyway, pretty cool little design, except for one that doesn't work. No, it does work good. You just can't bend the actuator rod like I did. Alright, let me just put this back together. And because I was looking online, I can pretty much buy this actuator rod, and I could probably still use this motor. And so I'm going to just hang on to all that right now. Just store it. But anyway, that'll wrap up this video. If I do anything else to this coupler, I will definitely show you that. But I'm excited now I can use this thing manually. I know that sounds kind of funny. I've just been having a fit with this thing. But I think, you know, part of the reason is this one was already a little bit bent when I got it. I noticed it, and I think just with that little bit of a bent to it, it was making that thing stick a little bit. But anyway, so I think getting a new one will solve all those issues. Alright, got that all back together. Very cool. One thing I wanted to mention too is I thought about this morning when I woke up. I could probably take these pins, these levers and pins are all one piece. Take that whole thing off on each side and put in ones that you would have on a manual coupler, and just basically have it be a manual coupler from then on. You know, the ones with the big old handles out here. Anyway, I might do that instead of going back with the quick coupler. But like I said, I don't know 100% sure which way I'm going to do it. But anyway, that should wrap it up on this video. Alright, till the next one.